Hello everyone, welcome to Tarot Between Sisters. I am Lady Phoebe, and today we're going to do a collective oracle reading. Let's see what comes up. We're using the Oracle 7 Energies deck. I did another oracle reading just 2 seconds ago, but it was more for like the update of what my personal healing journey has been doing. So this one I want to be more for collective. Is my intention anyway. Spirit has its own agenda, and it's definitely better and more healing and loving than my own. So I tend to try to just let Spirit guide me, and when it does, then magic happens. So willing release. Oh, I have been feeling this so much lately. Okay. One more card, please. Ooh, okay, 2 more. Healing the heart, willing release. Okay, so it's funny, I said I just did one 2 seconds ago. This is, but remember I said my intention, the intention, Spirit has its own mind, but generally when you, whatever, is to do a collaborative or collective. So this is telling me that everyone is experiencing this, or that a lot of people in the collective are experiencing this. So willing release. That is letting go of trauma and healing the heart, baby. That's what that is. That is old, stagnant, stank-ass energy that we've been carrying around with us, and we haven't really, like, I just got this, like, we feel yucky, but we don't know why, and then something's happened, and there's been prompts that have been happening. We're listening to different readers on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. We're having deeper conversations with friends. We're having deeper conversations with family, and we're really, and I want to say emotionless, because sometimes it's too fearful and emotional to look at things, and so we avoid it. But I feel that that has been nurtured away a little bit. I know it sounds a very weird way of saying it, but I feel like we're willing to look at our stuff with a very matter-of-fact way. Like, this is something I need to heal. This is something I'm going to do. I'm used to doing it now because I've done it enough times in my life that I don't. Nux is like, right, you can't even see him, but he's right there, and he's going to dump the camera. Yeah, you are. You're going to dump the camera, and then what? You got kisses? Oh, I love you. What a lovey. My little kitty cat. So, in a very, like, matter-of-fact way, and it's almost like, hey, we've done this a couple times before, and, okay. See, I knew he was going to do something with the camera. We've done this a couple times before. We remember what it feels like, but it's funny, things go in cycles, right? Like, we get to this point where, like, okay, we're going to deal with some trauma. We're going to listen to the prompts. We're going to dig deep. We're going to do, oh no. We're going to do our work. We're going to look at the shadows. We're going to do that. And you can do it in that very matter-of-fact way. And then you get over that, and then something happens, and then there's some fear that creeps in, and then we tend to back away. So I feel like we're in that upswing right now where we're like, hey, we're going to be looking at this because it's time. This has been carried for far too long, and I'm so willing to experience that piece of healing again. And those two, willing release and healing the heart. Like, hello. Could you be any more straightforward with what the collective is doing right now? And it's beautiful. And I also find too, like, so when we're like first introduced to shadow work, it is this big scary thing, right? Because it's so new, we don't know what it's like. We've been running from this for so long that the fear is almost greater than the thing itself, but the fear is something in itself. So we tend to not want to even look at it for fear of it, right? And that big first hurdle is big because we've never mounted this before. We've never gotten on this great big horse before. We have no idea how to do it. And then we do it, and then the fear creeps in because that's kind of what happened before, right? And we're kind of used to that. And then we remember again how good it feels to heal. And then we go on and we remember though, okay, the horse was big. It was a big horse, but I remember how to get on it now. And so you just take the steps that you took before. And then fear creeps in because that's what the ego does. It always comes back with ingenious ways to pull us in. And then the fear creeps in. But every time that you do it, you don't forget how you did it before. You just temporarily, it's almost like a suspension almost of remembering. But as soon as you start to remember again, it all comes flooding back. And you're like, yes, I remember how to do this. Okay, so I put my left horse on my left foot on the saddle, like I don't know, on the stirrups. I put my left foot on the stirrups and I grab that thing, and with all my might, I throw my leg over and then I get up. So it's the remembering whooshes back in. And then the ego comes with an ingenious way, whatever. Anyway, but I find that it gets a little easier with every time that we do it because we remember how to do it, and we remember how good it feels too. Through our experience of healing, it feels fantastic. So you tend to want to get back there after you've let that suspension go. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're all there right now. And I also feel, like I said, it seems to be getting a little bit easier because we're like kind of experts right now with shadow work. Like we've done some stuff. We've healed some stuff. We know some stuff. So we're just going up that hill again. We're mounting that horse again, and we're willing to really look like there's no avoidance now. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm healing. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm looking. And it's beautiful because there's just no denial of it, right? There's no resistance. And what a good place to be, and what a good feeling to have when there's no resistance. Like, oh, I love it. And I can always feel when I'm resisting, and I hate it. But I have to honor that I'm feeling like that and just go, okay, I'm resistant right now for whatever reason. Me shaming myself and feeling guilty for it isn't going to make that go away any quicker. In fact, it's going to solidify that resistance, and it's going to make it take even longer. So I'm going to be patient with myself. I'm just going to let myself be experiencing whatever I am at that moment. And then hopefully I can move out of it soon if that's what's supposed to happen. And then over here, opening to discovery. Okay, y'all. Like, come on, opening to discovery. Opening to discovery goes so much into that discovery of self, that discovery, like that, even look at, so there's this darkness in the middle of the doorway, right? But if you see, like, there's light everywhere, but it's like you need to, and like the key is opening up that doorway, like we need to go and we need to look at that darkness. We cannot avoid it. We cannot, like if this is the darkness over here, we can't look this way and expect to move through it. All that you've done, and I've used this so much lately, and I love the analogy because it really puts a certain point on it. Anytime that you are putting darkness over here and looking over here and expecting that to get dealt with, it's like moldy leftovers in the fridge. You've left them there, and then you take it out and you look at it, it's moldy, and you put it back in the fridge. You go, I'm going to save it for later. For what? And if Corey heard me, my husband heard me use this analogy, he would laugh his ass off, because I have done that before when I've been in a process of not letting go. That is indicative to me of like, okay, so I'm resistant right now because I'm not even willing to throw out the leftovers in the fridge, the moldy leftovers in the fridge. So it's funny too, you can look in your life and see what you are doing. What are your actions? Look around your home. You can really get a lot from what you do in your home. Like, I have a little bit of clutter in my house. I can always tell when I am really letting things go because I start doing the same thing. I declutter in my house. I start organizing. I start cleaning. Like, there's things in my house that I'm like, oh, I'm going to do, which I can feel a big clean session come on because I can feel that I've done that to my head in the last little while. So I can feel that coming on. My husband will be very happy. But yeah, if you really want to know where you're stuck or where your energy is a little bit stagnant, look around your house. It'll tell you. But yes, opening to discovery. So that's what we're doing right now. We are matter-of-factly looking at our garbage and looking at our leftovers and looking at our clutter and looking at our shit and going, okay, it's time. It's time to clear this out. How do I start? This is how I start. I remember how I did this before. And that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to sort through. I'm going to throw out what doesn't work for me anymore, and I'm going to keep what does. And I'm going to look at it with honesty as well. I'm not going to pretend that this false hated or hating thought is doing me good. Like, that this animosity that I have towards this person is actually beneficial to me. Like, let's be real. Real talk. Let's be real with ourselves. Anytime that you come across a belief or a system, a belief system or a thought process, And the end of that thought process or the end of that belief system is that it's okay for you to hate somebody, or it's okay for you to keep on being mad at this person, or it's okay to not forgive that person. That's not doing you any good. You're not protecting yourself. You are not. We think that it is, but it is not a protection. That is actually an attack upon ourselves and an attack on that person. How are we safe when we're attacking? Doesn't make any sense. So that's like, we're really looking at things in a very honest, matter-of-fact way. Is this really bettering my life? And if it isn't, throw that shit away, man. Like, throw that shit away. Throw it away. And this, so Close Encounters, it's funny, I've gotten different things from this card, but right away, I'm looking at this caged butterfly. And that goes into what I was just saying too. If you're at the end of any belief system or thought process or situation and you have hated somebody and you still think you should hate that person, or you still think you should be jealous or angry or bitter or guilty or whatever, that is a false system of security. Let that shit go. Let that shit, because it's a cage. You're caging yourself. And look at, okay, so let's just look at this card. This beautiful butterfly, look how free it is, and it's on the outside of the cage. It can experience all of the lovely, magic, wondrousness of life. This butterfly is in a cage of its own making, and that's hatred, guilt, pain, fear, all of that. In a cage of its own making, looking out, wishing it could enjoy things, but it's too busy holding on to these structures, these thought processes, this hate and this guilt, that it cannot release itself. And so you're not doing yourself, you're not protecting yourself at all by keeping that intact. Okay, so even let that butterfly's mad at that butterfly. This butterfly's free because it's not mad at that one. This one's mad at this one. This one's in a cage of its own making. That one's enjoying life, flitting around being a butterfly. This one's trapped in its cage. That's what we're doing to ourselves when we are angry or mad or pissed off or resistant or whatever, right? Like that's what, not even resistant, but retaliative. That's what we are doing. It is a cage of our own making, and it is up to us to get it out. Us out. No one else. My words today. You get the point though, right? So that is a good sorting out. That's a really good place to start. If you even forget or even trying to remember the healing process, that's a very good place to start. Start sorting through your thoughts and your belief systems and your actions towards others, your thoughts towards others. And if they end in anything other than, I love this person and I love this being and I accept you for all that you are, it's time to look at that truly and honestly and say, okay, it's time to look at why I think that way, and it's time to let that go. It's very simple. It's not always easy, but it's very simple. But right now I feel like we've got something figured out. Like there's something that clicked. Like it just clicked in and we're like, yes, I got this. I got this. I love it. Okay, you got this. I got this. We got this. All right. Have a great day. I love you. Be kind to yourself. Be kind. No, I can't even hear my sign off. Phoebe, how many times you said this? How many times? Choose love, then choose love again. Be compassionate to yourselves and be compassionate to others. Be kind to others. Be everything else good to others and yourself, okay? Love you. Mwah. Bye.